folks, welcome back to Rugby Ascendant. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania with a look at the Springboks lineup for the third test. Jacques Nienaber having announced it, and this is really a decider here. Quite a shocker to see the Springboks fail this past week in Bloemfontein, falling 13-12, leading 12-3 late in the game with about 10 minutes left and squandering that lead. Ill discipline cost the Springboks dearly, and led to a lot of second guessing about a B team that claimed by the BBC before the game this was a B team. Once again, I disagree with that assessment. I find it to be quite insulting. This starting lineup could start for any national side around the world. They just didn't get it done, and that's the bottom line. Well, last week, folks raised eyebrows about 14 changes to the starting 15, complaining about a B side. This week, it's 11. And people aren't saying it's a B side. They're saying, oh, this is the proper team. Whatever. Springbok coach Jacques Nienaber has made 11 changes to starting lineup for the Castle Incoming Series decider against Wales, the third test at DHL Stadium, Greenpoint in the mother city of Cape Town. Now, it's a big game. There are two milestones in this. The first is Eben Etzebeth, who will get his 100th test cap, and Bongi Mbonambi will get his 50th cap. Etzebeth first made his debut back in June 2011 against England. He'll become the seventh player to reach the 100 cap milestone in Springboks history. The others, of course, were Victor Matfield, Brian Habana, Tende Mtawira, John Smith, Jean de Villiers, and Percy Montgomery. Now, all of these are folks from the professional era. Remember that back in the day when the sport was amateur, players would only get a handful of caps per season. It was impossible to get to 100 caps as a rugby player for a national side. But now it's possible, and this will be the seventh Springbok to reach that level. Now, Jacques Nienaber has named an all-new back line featuring Damon Willemse at fullback, Cheslin Colby, and Makazole and Pimpy are on the wings, and that should bode well for an attacking style. Damien De Allende and Lukanya Am are in the midfield. Henri Pollard is still at fly half, and Jaden Hendrickse remains at the scrum half positions. Sia Khaleesi comes back in as the captain at number 6. He reclaims that spot. Peter Steph Dutoy, who played a full game after coming back from surgery in that last game, is the flanker. And Jasper Wiese, who knocked it on late in the game, which nearly cost us in the first match at Loftus Versfeld, but he had a brilliant game aside from that mistake. He's in at number 8, not Evan Ruiz. And some folks might be a little surprised to think that Evan didn't get to stay in there. Lut de Jager and Eben Etzebeth are at the lock positions in the second row. And the front row has Trevor Nkanye and Frans Malherbe as the two props on each side of Bongi Mbonambi in his 50th test. Now, Bongi made his debut against Ireland in June of 2016, and it becomes the 45th Springbok to reach the half century of test caps. Off the bench, we've got 6 forwards and 2 backs. Stephen Kitshoff, prop, Franco Mostart, Quagga Smith, utility forwards, and Elric Lowe, who's a flanker, Faf de Klerk, and at scrum half, and fullback Willie Leroux. Now, regarding the milestone caps, head coach Jacques Nienaber had this to say: "We're very proud of Eben and Bongi for their achievements, although it would be remiss of us as a team for that to outshadow the fact that we need to win on Saturday to seal the series against Wales." Well, yeah, no doubt about that. Regarding his team selection, which has come under criticism for the past 2 weeks, Nienaber said that we selected a team and player combinations that we think will be best for this specific game. How experienced is this Springbok side? Well, 654 caps among the starting 15. That's an average of 44 caps. That's a very seasoned team. For the 9 guys off the bench, the players have 324 caps amongst them. That's an average of 36 caps, so a little less experience. Now, the only starter with less than 10 caps is the scrum half, Jaden Hendrickse, who has just 3 caps to his credit. A little bit of news for Wales in this game. They've yet to announce their starting lineup, but Wales wing Alex Cuthbert has been ruled out of this deciding third match with a shoulder injury. He went out in the first half, and Josh Adams came back in, who started the first game. Dan Biggar and Dylan Lewis are still question marks for this game. We don't know if Dan Biggar or Dylan Lewis will be in the game. But if Dan Biggar's out and Gareth Anscombe comes in to replace him, not going to see a drop-off. Gareth Anscombe won this game late for Wales last week in that second game in Bloemfontein. Now, folks are fond of second-guessing the Springboks, and I'm one of those people who like to second-guess coaching decisions. But let's be honest here. This team is taking the same approach that Rossi Erasmus took in 2018 in preparation for the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan. He was willing to take a loss to try players, and that's what's happened this past week. I predicted that before he selected the lineup. He selected the lineup, and that's exactly what we got. 43 players on the roster for Springboks, and there's 43 players who could play as a starter. It's just that deep, that much depth for the Springboks. Whatever the case is here, folks, the third test will be epic from DHL Greenpoint in the mother city. We'll see it this weekend. It should be a sold-out crowd. People were really disappointed that the African National Congress refused to lift the lockdown restrictions and allow a full stadium with only 50% capacity. 31,000 showed up for the United Rugby Championship final between the Stormers, who won it, and the Bulls from the High Veld. 31,000. Well, it'll be sold out this weekend, no doubt about it. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot. Be sure to smash the like button and give us a subscription if you don't mind. Cheers. And boka, boka, boka. Best of luck to the Springboks this weekend. Sorry, Wales. Can't pull for you on this one. Cheers, everybody.